Anyway, hello YouTube. It's time for another meta update. It's Saturday and the Ursi Day is still going on. As you can see, currently we have basically quite a few 6-0s that we can talk about. It's honestly, it's a diverse meta, but it's it's like stale and diverse at the same time because we know every top deck, right? But it's still important to talk about which decks are seeing a rise in use and like why, and that's what I'm here for. I'm currently fighting for my life. I am 5-2. I have one more game in me. If I win it, I'll be able to play tomorrow. If I'm playing tomorrow, I'll be streaming here on YouTube Live or Twitch at twitch.tv/Jeudy. So come watch me 10 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. EST. Of course, I have to play one more round. I'm using Sylveon Mag, which is like kind of one of the decks that have gotten a new update. These decks have been running Lele now, and kind of to talk about why this is happening. There was a Sylveon Mag player, Chocolate, that went 8-1-2 with double Lele. And until recently, Lux for XD in this tournament made top 8 with this list, and I'm just using their exact list. This deck, in theory, has a pretty good Charizard matchup. 5-2-1 is not good enough, correct. 5-1-2 is still not good enough. But yes, to continue kind of talking about this, this deck is just like really strong. They added Sabrina, which I really liked. So I definitely would recommend if you're looking for a new deck. This deck has a pretty strong matchup as a Charizard, as I said, and really playable into all the top decks. It does struggle into decks with multiple 140s. I think like Buzzwole can be a little bit hard in my matchup. Eevee Box can be a little bit weird, but you're good into like Sylveon Gren and Charizard. And obviously Sylveon, the reason why people are playing Sylveon over Shiinotic, Sylveon allows you to draw 2. Shiinotic's a bit too slow. And draw 2 can do multiple things, whereas a Shiinotic is very, like, again, search a Pokemon. It might not be the Pokemon you want. So Sylveon's just better. I run Psychic Lightning. You can run Solo Psychic. Most of everybody ran Solo Psychic. It should run Solo Psychic. I like Psychic Lightning. I did just lose a match because I was running Psychic Lightning, so keep that in mind when you are figuring out which one you want to use. Other than that, I think the only cool other thing interesting is that this player went 10-0, almost like went undefeated, 8 rounds of Swiss, only to lose in the top 32. It's really hard, right, to win in these tournaments. So to be able to do that was really cool, and they did it with the Guzzler Nihilego variant, but they ran Darkrai as an extra piece to attach energy with and to just deal consistent 20 pings. With TRG, that's going to also just be good again. This deck is insane. This deck is super cool. I didn't see many people run this version, but I think it's really good and people should. Going back to the Ursa Day, as you can see, these are the people guaranteed to make cut. Lots of very strong and like kind of standard decks. The one I want to talk about, the breakout, is Incineroar. 15 Trainers is back, and it did really good, and I'll talk about why this deck would somehow see use. I think Incineroar has always had a good Charizard matchup. I think this deck has always had a good Charizard matchup, and that's kind of what this deck preyed upon, was multiple Charizards. It does good into Flareon, Leafeon. And that is where I thought this deck is really cool. Of course, Darkrai Tina player, they dropped after losing a game. Really unfortunate for them, but really cool time to probably bring back Charizard, as it does indeed have a positive matchup into Charizard, right? Because they do 150 to you, but you are already starting pings with 30. If you're going first, you can get the first snipe with How. You can do 30. The 30 doesn't put you in range of anything too risky. Really, really good deck. Really good matchup. The burns add up. So that is why you'd want to use that. And this guy is using it to full value, right? Other than that, like I said, a lot of it has been decks that we've talked about. There's nothing too crazy. Like I said, the more things change, the more things stay the same. And honestly, even though there's such a diverse spread at the top 8, a lot of things are pretty similar. The other deck I wanted to talk about that was kind of down here was a Arceus deck, right? There's an Arceus player at X1, if I find them. I can't find them anymore. How do you ping for 30? The burn for 30. Come on, guys. Don't piss me off. Other than that, Sylveon, I've made a video on this already. This deck, it's the same exact double Sabrina list, right? It's good. I actually lost to this guy. He ended up beating me and another guy using my same deck list. He actually beat 3 of us. This guy got the dream bracket, pissing me off. But no, it's still such a good deck. That if you want to consider a deck that's good into most other Sylveon variants, good. Leftovers makes it good into Charizard, right? Something that Leftovers has that Giant Cape doesn't have, and I feel like I have to explain this because there's always a YouTube comment. Every single time I explain Leftovers, there's always someone in the comments asking how does Leftovers beat Charizard when Cape does it too. It doesn't, because if they're running Guzma and they Leftovers goes before Guzma, so you're at 180. But if you're using Giant's Cape, you're at 190, you become 170. That's it. That's how it beats Charizard. I'm over talking about how it beats Charizard. I think the other thing, I guess the deck that kind of had a resurgence, Seagun had a 14 win streak and also coincided with a player winning the Frog EX, essentially undefeated. So we are beginning to see a lot more Buzzwole variants coming out the woodworks. And that's also because there's a lot of Oricorio, right? There was a lot of Oricorio the last 2 weeks. There's a lot less Oricorio because of these Buzzwole decks starting to do good, right? And because of that, we're starting to see decks like Sylveon Soul do good, right? The Hawlucha Bat Arc 143. No, I wanted to talk about that deck so badly. But it's okay. They tried their best. No regrets. But yeah, I think that where the meta is at, there's like nothing there's not going to be a new deck that's going to sweep ladder. We have 10 days left of ladder. I think my biggest advice is to be switching decks always, and switching to like one of the top decks. There's so many, like I said, look at all of these decks that are 6-0. So many good decks that you can use on your climb, especially if you're trying to go for top 10,000. Top 10,000 right now is like 2,100. Top 1K is I feel like safety is going to be like 3,500. And of course, if you're still trying to make Master Ball, right? There's so many of these decks. Did you make top cut? I need to play one more to make top cut. But that's kind of where I wanted to talk about decks. I think the other deck is Harian. Let's check if Harian has won their last. Oh, they're also on the bubble. But I still want to highlight this deck. This deck is a pretty cool deck. It's Greninja, Ramp, Marshadow, Hitmonchan. This is going to be probably a solo fighting, if I had to guess. Could be both if they wanted it to. But the idea is that you get the pings over like Lucario, and it allows you to do a lot of cool things with Rampardos. So I think that this is pretty cool. Thank you, Numata. How was your run? How was your run so far? I have one more game left, so I have to play with my life. Can I explain? Yeah, I'll explain that in just a moment. I'm going to say straight up, like I said, the meta is pretty much the same as last week. But there are slight developments, right? Sylveon, Mag is up. Otherwise, Buzzwole is back. But it's just a very diverse meta. He wants to Smokey win so I can Smokey win finals. Insane. All right, we have to win so that I can play Numa in finals. I'm down for that. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the meta. There's nothing too crazy to talk about, sadly.